Welcome to another VectorTuts screencast. My name is Cheryl Graham, and I'm going to take you through this tutorial by Saurabh Sharma called How to Create a Caramel Ripple Effect. This is a fun and effective way to obtain a quality vector image using only a few strokes. And if you're a Tuts Plus member, you can download the source files and follow along. In Illustrator, go to the Line Segment tool, click on the artboard once, which brings up the options. Enter a point length, an angle of 0 degrees, and there's your line. Next, I want to add some ripples to this line, so I'll go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and choose the zigzag effect. I'll increase the height of the line, add to the ridges, and also make the corners smooth. Now, the waves generated by a liquid tend to diminish at the end and eventually vanish, so I'll need to add another effect. This time, I'm going up to Warp and down to the Fish effect. A 50% horizontal bend will give us the look we're after. The zigzag and the warp show up in the Appearance panel as live effects. We want to expand those, so just go up to Object, Expand Appearance. Next, I need to create the droplet that will appear in the center of the ripples. I'll take the Direct Selection tool and drag this point up. I'll add 2 more points with the Add Anchor Point tool, and then just tweak them with the Direct Selection tool. Now I have the profile for my ripples and droplet, and one last thing before we apply the 3D effect is to make a copy of this. I just Option dragged it, and I'm going to set it aside for now. Now we're ready for the fun part. Go up to Effect, 3D Revolve, and you'll get this big 3D Revolve Options dialog box. In the first field, which is the X-axis, enter -35. And make sure it's -35, not just 35. For the y-axis 0, the z-axis 0, perspective 0, and we'll use a 360-degree angle, of course, offsetting from the left edge. Now for the surface shading, and by the way, if you can't see this, you might have to click more options in your dialog box. We'll use plastic shading, and I want to add one extra spotlight to it, so I'll click the New icon here. And I want to move these two lights next to one another off to the right side. Now I'll adjust the ambient light to 25%, beef up the highlight intensity, change the highlight size, and for the blend steps I want to increase that to 50 to make a nice smooth transition. We'll leave the shading color as black, and now click the preview box. It may take some time for the 3D to render, but once it does, you can check to make sure that that's what you want, and then click OK. One more finishing touch and we're done. We want a slight reflection of the droplet in the middle, since it has some height and dimension. I'll take this copy that I made earlier and use the Reflect tool to flip it horizontally. For the reflection, I just need the middle part, so I'll take the Scissors tool and cut it at about this point here. Hit the Delete key twice to get rid of those extra points. Now select this path and go back up to the Effect menu to Revolve. We're going to use the very same settings that we used before, with one exception. We're going to change the shading color to white, so I'll pull down to the Custom label and click on the color swatch. The color picker comes up, and I'll just move that all the way to the left to make it pure white, 0CMYK. Once again, click the preview button, check it, and then click OK. Now all we have to do is adjust the reflection to make it look more realistic. First, I'm going to change the opacity to 20%. I'll position it underneath the droplet and nudge it up there just so. And maybe for a final touch, change the blending mode to multiply for a very subtle yet realistic look. As you can see, this is a very simple structure, only 2 lines, with 3D revolve effect applied. But simple can be deceptively beautiful. Thank you for watching.